guys, it's your boy Corey.
It's your boy John.
And welcome back to the Artistry Drop, where we feature stories from today's rising artists.
Yes, sir.
If you like being inspired, don't miss out on a weekly episode, so be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell notification to be notified when we drop new episodes. Guys, our guest today is a San Diego-based artist beaming with passion and charisma. As a proud member of the LGBTQ plus and Filipina communities, she continues to develop her skills as a talented singer, songwriter, actress, and event producer. Guys, please welcome our guest, Roann.
Let's go.
Hey,
Thank
welcome,
you for having
Roann.
me.
Appreciate you
Yes.
coming to the Artistry
Absolutely.
Drop. You're actually
Yes.
our first guest of 2024.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
love that.
definitely excited to have you on here. Guys, we definitely have a lot more planned for 2024. So be on the lookout. Be sure to hit that post notification bell so you guys are alerted, of course. But before we do get into Roann and how she came up as an artist, let's get into the drink of the day.
All right, so the drink of the day is a play off of the pomegranate paloma. So it's pomegranate juice, grapefruit soda. I put some lime in there, and then I actually made a little twist and topped it off with some apple cider. So it's like gives it some apple cider taste, but also has the soda, the fizziness. And then I put some simple syrup and wrapped it all up and dashed it with some margarita salt, and that is your pomegranate paloma.
Let's go. Cheers.
The artistry
Cheers.
way.
Yes.
Cheers.
It is a little different.
Yeah, it's different.
Definitely tastes a little
This is
different.
my first time making it, and I kind of freestyled it, but it was cool.
It's okay.
It's alright. It's alright. It's not one of the. It's not one of the best ones for
It's
sure.
definitely not.
Yeah.
But it'll get us.
You gotta be
lit.
real. You gotta be
for
real. It's not one of the
for
best ones.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not, guys. So
Dang,
it'll
that's
get
how
us-
y'all do me.
Hey, blame
Yeah,
this
yeah.
dude.
Bring the shots
Hey,
back. No, I'm messing with
Blame
you.
this dude.
I'm
blame this
appreciative.
dude.
Okay.
But yeah, guys, as long as we got the drink here, that's all that matters. So hopefully you enjoy it throughout the podcast. So we'll see.
It'll be chill.
I'm not picky.
Okay.
Whatever you got,
Yeah.
whatever makes you lit. I mean, that's cool with you, right?
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
All right,
Cool.
so you got this, guys. All right, so we're gonna dive in. So you're originally from San Diego. San Diego.
San Diego. The Dago.
All right, sorry guys, I'm tired. You're originally from San Diego. When did you actually make the move to the City of Angels here in LA?
I moved out here in December of 2020.
2020.
Yeah,
Okay, nice.
sick.
December of 2020
Okay,
is when I
cool.
moved out here.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
like
so
right during COVID.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Damn.
that's crazy.
COVID was a crazy time for a lot of people, but it actually, musically for me, was one of the most transformative periods of my time. I was getting booked left and right.
Yeah.
out
Oh,
here.
damn.
Yeah, that's
Safely.
I mean,
Safely.
yeah, that's crazy
Safely.
because I know. So we had actually moved out here the year before. We moved out here around August 2019.
Yeah.
So we didn't even really get to enjoy shit. Like 3-4 months in, COVID hit.
COVID hit,
So
yeah.
we were just locked in, and there was really not obviously much to do here. LA was locked down. So I mean, you said you were getting booked left and right for stuff. What was it pretty much since everybody was pretty much at home?
It was mostly songwriting for
Okay, yeah.
rappers actually,
shit.
or getting locked in, doing vocals on their tracks and everything like that. So it was at a point where I was out here maybe 3 to 4 times a week, sometimes every other day, sometimes every single day I was out here. But because I didn't live out here, it was commuting one day and then going back home, going to my day job, going home to rest, shower real quick, doing that for like a month straight.
Yeah.
Until finally I was like, maybe I should just consider moving up there and seeing what this does for me.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, that's kind of just like me, after I finished film school, I was like, there's no better place than LA to, pursue film.
Right.
Seattle doesn't have that kind of shit. Especially Seattle was not really a videography, photography kind of city. You have your locals and stuff like that, but nothing really big, no movies, like no film productions, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like out here was where it was. So it's like, obviously I knew I needed to move out here.
Right.
I told this guy, hey, fucking move down with me to LA. Let's, get some shit going,
Yeah, the opportunities came, especially like after COVID. During COVID, we had to like sit down. We gained a lot of weight. Ate hella and shit like that. So
Drank
it was
beer
different.
every day.
Yeah, it was different because we were locked in, but we had to make the best out of our situation.
Exactly,
So
all the time.
that's when
Yeah.
we, thought about doing the podcast, and then, here we are flourishing afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And
3 years in, right?
3 years in,
Yeah.
it's
Congrats.
been going dope, and we met so many dope people,
Right.
including yourself now, so we're definitely excited to have you, as a part of the artistry drop. So thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
again,
happy to
Roann.
be here.
Yeah,
man.
no,
Thank
thank you.
Thank you.
Going through your YouTube channel on Spotify, it looks like you started dropping music around like 2018, 2019.
Yes.
Did it take a while for you to kind of decide you wanted to start pushing music out there to the world?
It always, even to this day, it takes a while. And I think that's
Really.
something that artists often struggle with. Singers, songwriters, rappers, whatever kind of music you develop, something that I can say that all of us probably struggle with is being your worst critic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
You can drop 50 songs and still decide at that moment, I don't know if this next drop should happen or whatever, because we live too much in our heads, you know what I mean? But I don't know what really inspired me to start dropping music. Actually, I was signed-ish back in 2019, and that's really when I learned about dropping music for the first time. I knew then at that time that people did it. I just didn't know how until
Yeah.
I got signed to this label. It was an independent label at the time, and they kind of taught me how to start putting stuff out there. So that's when I got my first experience of dropping music.
Nice.
Yeah, since it takes you a lot to like drop a song, do you find yourself like being a perfectionist? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it sucks because most of the time too, it's you against you.
Right.
You know what I mean? People who support you will support you regardless.
Yeah, true.
And so I think the biggest thing that I'm learning even today is that you just got to do it. You just have
Yeah.
to get out of your own way. You got to just do it.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we just talked about this earlier. It's like let the experiences along the way teach you and show you like what your next moves can be, how to be tactical for the next operation, I guess. You know what I mean?
That's a good way to put it. I like that.
right.
Yeah, and I agree. Kind of like let things flow as you go.
Exactly.
You'll pick up, you'll know where to go next, and I think it's just easier that way instead of kind of like planning things, because of course sometimes things get pushed away, or
Right.
Yeah.
you can't reach it until you actually finish one thing. So letting things flow as you go, I think, makes more sense than kind of planning. It's always nice to plan, obviously. It's always good to maybe have a planner and say, like, this is where I want to be at this time. But sometimes it's not achievable at, like, the time you want it.
Right.
So, I definitely like how you put that.
Yeah.
Right.
This might be a little weird. I don't know if you've got this, if anybody's told you this, but when I listen to your music and your voice, I feel like you got a tone that is slightly compared to Whitney Houston.
Oh,
Have you ever heard that before?
no.
Okay, so it's hard to explain.
That's
it's hard to
huge.
It's hard to explain, but Whitney, when she has like she'll try to hit a high note, but she still has like that deep tone in her voice. I'm not an artist, so I can't really explain it. But it's like when I listen to her music, and I listen to Whitney all the time. I love all her music as well. And then I listen to yours, I'm like, I kind of hear that same kind of tone. It's like you hit high notes, but kind of have like a deep tone in it as well. I'm not sure what it's called, if there's like a specific name for it. But so nobody's ever told you that at all? I'm the first? Let's go. I mean, that's cool with me.
Because Whitney is
She got that range.
Yeah.
that's a one of a kind type of voice.
No, it
I'm
is, for sure.
honored.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if you watching this, he said it, not
Hey,
me.
yeah.
Don't start coming for
No,
me.
guys,
You
go
feel
listen
me?
to Roann.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, I listen to your music and I just hear it. Like, when I first heard it, I was like, damn, it kind of reminds me of Whitney a little bit.
That's huge.
Yeah, for sure.
I
for sure.
can see that. I went back and I looked at some of Whitney's songs and I compared it to yours too, because I knew he wrote it down. But on some of the songs, I even think that you also kind of sound like Alicia Keys in some, like, not your voice, but your flow and your tone. That very like warming, tone, and very like open and down to earth type of voice.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I can actually, now that you mention that, I can kind of see that too.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
still feel the Whitney thing is like, it's just there. Like, I would have to kind of like show you what I mean. It's hard. It's so hard to explain like talking. But if
Right.
you hear a visual or you actually hear it, then you'll kind of understand what I'm saying. But this also leads into my next question. Like, who has been your biggest inspirations growing up? Like, that inspired you to get into music?
Her.
Really? Is she?
Yeah, no,
See?
for sure. So growing
told
up,
you
it was
this.
a lot of Celine Dion, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey. Those were the top
okay.
probably 3 artists that I listened to consistently.
Yeah.
I was a huge Mariah Carey fan.
Oh, Mariah, yeah,
damn.
for sure,
Like
for sure.
huge. So
Yeah.
growing up, she was mostly who I listened to. Christina Aguilera. So those were voices that I grew up being inspired by.
Yeah, for sure.
And then of course Luther Vandross,
Yeah,
you know,
okay.
Al Green,
Yeah.
Boys
Yeah.
to Men,
Yeah,
New
yeah.
Edition. So
See,
stuff
it
that
makes a
my
lot of
parents
sense,
used to
yeah.
blast in the house.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
That's who I
and
grew
it's
up
the
listening
same exact thing as me. You know, I grew up with great music. You know, I'm the biggest MJ fan, huge
Yeah.
Michael Jackson fan, but I also grew up with great R&B music. You know, like yourself, New Edition, High Five, Boys to Men. You know, those are still things I listen to today, and
Right.
I definitely see how that inspires your music because you just are straight up R&B. You're that,
Yeah.
you know, you bring that R&B, and I love
yeah.
it, and it's dope. Seeing you keep R&B alive because nowadays it's really not like it used to be. You know, you
Yeah.
listen to a lot of the old school R&B, it's not there anymore. But I know some artists are slowly trying to bring it back, which is dope because that's my generation, and I love hearing people trying to keep that alive.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know,
But you
so-
got that soulful R&B though.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is hard to find.
Yeah, for
People
sure.
can do R&B, but that
Yeah.
soulful R&B it's a rare talent for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of a struggle too in today's musical
Right.
culture
Yeah.
because throughout the last maybe decade the term R&B has shifted so much because of
Yeah.
you know pop R&B
Yeah,
or whatever
for sure.
and people might come at me for saying this but people have gotten away with being called R&B artists and can't sing a lick.
For sure.
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
You know, they have great tone, they have great melodic flows.
Yeah.
But when it comes to singing a song, performing, getting up there, executing that emotion when it comes to your music, we got lost in some point in time of just
Yeah.
kind of getting away with that vibey type music, which is still great. But when you're supplying that to the people who are consuming this music and they adapt to all of that and that's what they know now as R&B when people come in singing it's a hit or miss you feel me
Right.
but this is exactly why I feel like artists like Coco Jones has absolutely excelled. Her and Camper have excelled with I See You or Hours and Hours by Money Long, right? Because it brings that nostalgic feeling back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, honestly, I'm happy. I'm happy with like my lane of music and the fact that I can allow myself to stay with adapting that emotion every single time because I think that's slowly but surely, like you said, what people are starting to look for in R&B again.
Right. Because right now, what's hot in R&B is like that toxic, you know, toxicity. What happened to like the love making music?
Yeah.
What happened to,
Right.
you know, the real R&B where people are singing?
You know
It's
what
not-
happened is motherfuckers stopped singing in the rain in their music videos, and they took Nehu's out of R&B.
Right.
When music, especially boy groups or boy artists, men artists, whatever,
Yeah.
they started their songs with Nehu. It was
Yeah,
rap.
done.
I
It
know,
was a rap.
I know
That's
what
true,
you
that's
mean. Yeah,
true.
it's
I didn't
crazy.
think
We
about
ain't
Like,
have that shit.
no, I know for real, and I, you know, definitely New Edition. Like, obviously stands out when you hear those kind of songs. Like, Can You Stand the Rain?
Right.
You know, stuff like that. And
Sing that first part, bro.
no,
No, don't ask him to sing, please. People will stop watching right now.
No, but yeah, no. Like I said, I love the fact that you're keeping, you know, true R&B alive because I feel like, especially like, you know, people that are older want to keep that going. You know, like a
Right.
lot of the 50-year-olds or, you know, 40 to 50-year-olds.
Just like
that.
you?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I grew up with. You know, I grew up with that and stuff. You know, so it's dope hearing it being kept alive without all the other, you know, random songs that aren't that great nowadays. You know, I'm not gonna lie, music has definitely changed a lot.
For real.
There's good artists that have been coming out, but then there's also like trashy music. I'm not gonna lie, you know.
Right.
So I it's dope whenever I hear an artist that's actually trying to keep true R&B alive. You know, for a lot of, I guess, my generation. I'm not
Yes.
sure how old you are, but
29.
okay, so
Same
yeah.
age.
Yeah, you got yeah. I'm
Same
36.
generation.
36.
Okay.
So that's
Damn.
why. That's what I'm saying. So-
That's what I be saying. Damn.
I'm just messing with
no,
you.
but see, that's why you know how to make you understand, like, I grew up with that kind of stuff, you know. So that's why I love the true R&B and that you're keeping it alive.
I call it my Lolo.
Yeah, I know.
It's all good. It's all good.
No, I don't. No,
you look young though.
I don't get offended by anything. So
you look hella young.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Thank you. You know, we've had the homies Tiana and Shayna here on the show, you know, which I'm sure you know, obviously. And we got all the Filipinas definitely doing big things for the music industry. I always bring this up whenever we have some Filipino fam on the show, but what do you think needs to be done to put more Filipinos on the map? Because there still really isn't like anybody out there that has really taken it to the next level. You know, you got Bruno, you got her, and you know, they're pretty well-known Filipinos in the industry, but there are so many talented like independent artists that still need, you know, some sun on them. Like they need the shine on them, and it still hasn't been brought to life yet. So like, what do you think needs to be done to bring like a lot of these talented Filipino artists like yourself?
There's a few things. One, I think it's really important that if you are a Filipino American, that you really start learning about your roots back home and really creating that symbiotic relationship between you and like Filipino Americans and I guess like Filipinos fresh in the motherland, you know what I mean? Because there's a huge cultural difference. So one, we all know that our people ride for us like crazy, you know what I mean? So I think the thing too, there's always this disconnect, like when you grow up here and then you grow up in another place, but you're supposed to kind of be like the same-ish people. So when you get down to how amazing Filipino culture actually is and why we ride for each other the way that we do, a lot of that can be transmuted. A lot of that energy could be transmuted into the way that we create our art. And also too, like, I mean, me growing up and looking at other Filipino artists, we're so categorized, right? Like,
facts.
Like OPM, like heartbreak, cutesy songs and shit like that. Be okay with doing things that are a little bit different and outside the box so that you can get recognized for stuff. Because like in our era, we grew up, and these are the homies, shout out, but like, you know, Jeff Burnett, Passion, Melissa Polinar and everything. So this was like the whole YouTube era, right? And there was like a specific kind of music that they were portraying out there. So I feel like because that blew up so much on YouTube, for us, we kind of just look at other Filipino artists as like automatically thinking that they're supposed to be just that. We grew up seeing. So I don't know, just be unapologetic about creating your own wave and making your own noise. You know what I mean? Like, it's obviously so different now that Asian Americans are starting to get their shine, not even just in music, but even in the acting realm and everything that. But the more we pay into or play into the fact that, oh, we should get recognition because we're some sort of different, instead of being like, nah, I need to get recognized because I'm fucking talented. Like, but you got to step in that power too, so people believe in you in that certain way. You know what I mean? So that's just my take on that. I don't know. Honestly, I'm still trying to navigate that whole thing too, because trying to make it out here in the States, but also trying to connect with the people back home and being like, yo, I'm a Filipino artist out here. Like, you know, it's like, how can we build that relationship together so we can like from sea to sea be connected and be supporting each other? And that's how, the more you get people to fuck with you, the more that your wave is going to be that much louder. For sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, Tiana kind of almost said the same exact thing that you kind of said. I do agree, like, you know, growing up to like hearing a lot of the Filipino music, you know, I grew up with some of the, I forget some of the songs, but of course, you know, Ocho Ocho, like one of the most popular ones. They played at every single Filipino family party, all those. But no, you're right though. Like there's a lot of like love songs in when you're, how long ago is this? I want to say when I was like around like 10 years old, you know, it was a lot.
I wasn't even born. We weren't even born yet.
A lot of like Filipino love songs. That's all I heard. And you know, whenever I'm at my family's house, that's all they would typically play is like, you know, love, romantic songs and stuff like that. So I kind of do agree with what you're saying, is like, you know, go back to the roots, like kind of you know, go back to the Philippines, connect with your culture, kind of know where the music over there came from and do something different, because you're right, doing something different will make you stand out for sure. I totally agree with that. And
or amplify what's already been done
for sure. For sure. And I don't think a lot of people are like trying to stand out as much. They're kind of copying what other people are doing, because they're like, oh, this shit is popping, if I do something like this I can definitely pop off as well. But people obviously are not trying to be different, trying to go a different route and trying something new. They want to do what's popping right now. Just kind of like TikTok. Everybody's doing the trends. So, you know, like people get famous for one person will get famous for doing one dance, another random person will do the same dance, pop off, so on. You know, it's the same exact thing. So, but I agree. I think everybody should try something different, and that'll kind of make you stand out from the rest and be like, wow, that person is like crazy different. You know, like I want to see what they're gonna be doing next and stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully eventually people will actually understand that, like, do something different to kind of stand out, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
One thing that's definitely distinct in your music is your true love for R&B. Obviously, we kind of brought this up. It's that slow, sexy kind of vibe. What kind of led you into that direction? My guess is, you know, obviously we brought it up, your inspirations.
So when I make music, I write from real shit. It's not always my shit. Like sometimes I could be talking to a friend. Like one of my songs, Love Doesn't Live Here, featuring RL from the group Next. A friend was telling me about some shit she was going through with her boyfriend, and I'm sitting there listening. I'm like, yeah. Go home, I write a song about it. So I think it really is just situational for me all the time. I've tried the whole create something that sounds like it's popping, and for me, if it just doesn't connect and I don't have a feeling towards it, it's not worth it for me to put it out because I already don't have the energy to push it.
Yeah.
Right.
So I guess that's also why I be taking kind of a long time to be dropping music, because like, you know, shit's got to be felt.
Quality over quantity, though.
Exactly.
You know, that's the thing. You know, one thing I don't know if this correlates into what you kind of just said, but one thing I haven't really seen from you is like summer club banger type of vibe. Like, are we gonna expect anything like that from you at any time, or?
There's one song that I have in the vault that we're probably gonna push soon. It's different. It's absolutely different. It's a drill R&B song, something that you can definitely bang in the summertime. But we'll see. I want to say yes.
Yeah.
Because eventually I'm gonna create, you know, different things. But right now I don't feel like that's in alignment with what I feel like creating genuinely and truly.
Okay. Do you see yourself like venturing out of R&B, or is that like
venturing out of R&B? Absolutely not, never.
Okay. Yeah. So that's you.
However, like when it comes to writing for other artists, I know where my capabilities are at when it comes to writing music and creating pop stuff. But I think to push and completely attach myself to a different sound than R&B. I think R&B will always be integrated in the kind of music that I make forward. But I'm not going to say I'm opposed to some other stuff. Maybe one day I'm just going to want to get on there and talk my shit and just go real crazy.
But it has to be genuine. Like how you feel.
It'll probably be genuine for sure.
Do you think like maybe you would kind of do like some kind of hybrid stuff? You know how like Nelly went into like country and vice versa?
Yeah, for sure.
You think you do something like that?
I always have fun trying new things. Where it never sees the light of day is because it's fun when you're making it in the studio, everybody's kind of messing around, whatever, but then when you're like, wait, are we gonna put this out? That's where it's kind of like, ooh, let me just
serious.
Dip my toes in real quick. I don't know. So
sure.
I think though over time it really is just a mentality thing. You feel me? Like I don't know. It just goes back to what I was saying earlier. Just get out of your own way and just do it. Who cares? Especially as independent artists. That's something that I'm continuously trying to teach myself and remind myself is that you literally have everything to gain and nothing to lose right now because like that's it. Yeah. No ands, ifs, or buts about that. Like you just don't have anything to lose at the moment. So you could drop something. Everything is about trial and error. Just do it. Yeah. But it's easier said than done. Yeah. So like I said, I'm still in the process of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Facts.
When you're in the studio, like you know, working on music and stuff, like do you have like a whole bunch of people in there, or is it just you or the producer, or?
It's usually myself and my engineer and maybe one or two other songwriters or one or two other producers or a hybrid of both. But no, I'm not the have hella people in the studio type of person. I get irritated quick.
For sure. I mean, I've seen videos, you know, we've been in, you know, our homie's studio and, you know, while he's producing and writing his music, and it's always dope, you know. I feel like being in a studio, like a music studio is such a dope vibe though. Like you have multiple, you got the song, the producer, the engineer, all that, like all kind of vibing and kind of throwing ideas out to you. You know, as me as like a filmmaker, you know, whenever I'm working on a music video, it's just me. So I'm like, damn, is this fucking dope or not? I don't have anybody behind me to kind of, you know,
like throw ideas.
Yeah, throw ideas or cheer me on, you know. If anything, it's him, you know. I'll edit a music video and then I'll be like, what do you think of this? And then we're like, change this up, blah, blah, blah. But I always think like being in a music studio is such a vibe. And I wanted to kind of get your take because, like I said, there's so many people out there that just like bring like all these girls or guys and like coming through come through the studio, they're all smoking weed and all that shit, you know.
Yeah,
I hate it.
So it's just
what was it like your worst studio experience? That you were like, nah, I can't have it. I can't have that many people. Where you just like cut it.
It's been, I've been invited to a lot of writing camps.
Oh, okay.
So most of the time I don't really have a choice when it comes to that because, you know, it's always a great opportunity to get invited to writing camps, but I will say, and it's no shade, but like I will say when I've been heavily working with rappers at the time, it's like
it's crazy. Yeah.
No structure or anything.
But it's one of those situations where it's like, dang, like, you know, you go there to work and it's cool and the work does get done, but sometimes there's a lot of hurry up and wait because people are kind of just dicking around.
Right.
I think that so many people have adapted to this like recording or music culture of this is what it's supposed to be, just women who are just there in the studio just to be in the studio, maybe catch a little B-roll, like, oh, I got, you know, bitches in the studio freaking smoking up the studio, hotboxing that shit. I'm like, bro, I'm a singer, like and you want me to get in here and sing on your track and I'm over here dying, like
for sure.
It's just, it's so different to me.
I mean, a lot of people probably do it for the clout too. You know, the people that are hanging out at the studio, chilling.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and stuff like that.
It's up and down. You know what I mean?
But
yeah, and then on the creative side, sometimes too. This actually happened at my last session. I had like maybe a total of like 7 artists there because it was writers, it was you know, people that I wanted as background vocalists, and then my vocal coach was also there.
Dope.
And these are all artists that I admire and respect. But sometimes when you have too many geniuses in the kitchen too, that could also be super overwhelming because everybody got their ideas and then
Makes
you're
sense.
laying it on thick on the track. So there was a point in my session where I got pretty overwhelmed and I'm like, okay, everybody's throwing their ideas. We're in here, we're recording it, or you're telling me what to record and everything, and I'm putting it on there. And then sometimes at that moment, you just have to take a step back and be like, let's just sleep on this.
For sure.
Come back to it. So, excuse me. The next time I went into the studio, I went there by myself and I listened to everything that we did, and I was like, yeah, no, take that part out, move this, take that, and So it's, again, everything is trial and error. Everything is just, but don't be closed off to things is what I'm gonna say. Like, just allow yourself to get in there and experience these things, the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. That's dope getting a point of view because I haven't actually asked that question of, you know, how it is for certain artists in the studio.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was really cool hearing kind of like your point of view of things when it comes to like people in the studio and, you know, if it's just you want to be in there and such like that. So appreciate you bringing that to light. Where do you want to take your music next? You know, such as working on an EP, TV, or movie placements? Like, what's your actual goal?
I would love sync placements. I think sync placements are super dope. So commercial TV, movies.
For sure.
And I want to tour. I mean, I want to tour. So right now, I do have enough songs to put on an EP, on an album, but I think I'm just being extra calculated with how I do stuff. Maybe I'm being a perfectionist, like you said. I don't know.
That's all good though.
Whatever, but at the end of the day, it's your craft. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's gonna be what you put out there, and you want to be happy with what you put out there. But before I start touring, I want to make sure that whatever album or EP I'm touring with is something that just feels like this is the energy that I want to carry with me around the world.
Right. Yeah, that's going back into what you said about being perfectionist, how do you know when to let go? Because that's a hard thing to do, being a perfectionist. Is it your team, or do you reach a point where you're like, I did so much I can do, it's time to, you know, release?
I think it's a mix of both. Mix of both. You know what I mean? Like having your team being like, no, it's cool. Sometimes you do have to just like, if it comes to a certain project, or maybe you hear something in a song and you're like, I got to take myself out of the equation. Y'all make the unanimous decision on this. Sometimes it's that. But honestly, I think when it comes to just the topic of letting go, that really comes when you're just tired.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can keep fighting the fight over and over, and that goes for any situation in your life. You feel me?
For sure.
You let go when you're tired.
Yeah.
You let go when you decide finally, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I just don't want to deal with that no more, or I'm just gonna accept the fate of where this is at. You know.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna this record I can't tweak or turn anymore. I just got to put it out there.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you said that because we meet a lot of artists as well who also struggle with being a perfectionist and don't know when to let go, and then the whole year passes, they haven't released anything.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you mentioned
done
it.
that shit for sure.
It's all good.
But when you do release it, I mean, look, it did numbers, you know. So
sure.
you know, like when you got a hit, you know when it's time.
Yeah.
So that's dope. So going back, you know, I did a little bit of stalking and research and diving deep. You know, I saw your oldest song, you know, Next Lifetime, which was almost 5 years ago, you know, and fast forwarding now to your latest single called Give You Everything, your sound has matured, but not only has it matured, but it also, you know, you stayed true to who you are as an artist. Reflecting back to 5 years ago and to now, what advice would you give to your younger self during the time? It's kind of deep.
It's
kind of heavy.
It's funny that you bring up Next Lifetime and Give You Everything, because both of those songs were just written from situations that not the same situation,
right.
obviously, but still both situations that stung me at one point, and I'm fuck, I'm gonna write a song about it.
Yeah, for
Next
sure.
Lifetime, I was boohoo crying before I even freaking recorded that. I got in the studio talking to my engineer at the time, Jazz. I'm like, I don't want to. He's like, you done? Go record. I'm like, what the fuck? So the advice that I would give to my younger self is keep that faith strong, that you are able to transmute anything that you're feeling, even at your weakest point, into something so monumental and so strong. And just believe in that shit every time.
Yeah.
Put that shit in front of everything that you're feeling so that you can create something beautiful, you know? Because both of those records, Next Lifetime and Give You Everything, though it came from very sensitive subjects for me, it turned into something where I'm like, those are probably two of my most favorite songs.
Really? Damn.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's and when you listen to it, even removing myself out of the situation that transpired those records, I think sonically, I'm like, fuck, man, I'm proud of this shit.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of these records. Sounds good. You can hear the vulnerability. And those are two records that I could sit by myself with and listen to and think, damn, bitch, you're an artist and you sang the fuck out of that shit. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, it's always beautiful. You don't have to let situations hold you back and make you feel like, fuck, this is the end of it, whatever. Nah, if you have a talent, you got a creative avenue, put that shit in there.
Yeah.
Sure.
No, that's dope, because I definitely hear that in your voice, and that's kind of why I pointed it out too. I could tell those two definitely hit home for you, so I was like, I gotta ask her real quick, see what it's all about. But yeah, I'm glad you said that, because you know a lot of artists also also struggle with that, and if it's too much to reveal as well, you know, as far as being an artist.
You know what, and I used to be the kind of artist that so obviously R&B artist, I'm a huge ballad person, whatever.
Right.
And one thing that I used to struggle with all the time was, it's about to be summertime. I can't make this ballad song in the summer. And then I don't remember who said this to me, but somebody that I was talking to about that at the time was like, somebody is going through something all the time.
Right.
So it could be the hottest day in July and somebody just got their heart broke and they're looking for a song that you are keeping in the vault.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that's just my word of advice to any artist that's feeling like you got to flow with the seasons. Let that shit go. It's a season for everybody every day.
Right.
You know, so, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
That's facts.
Yeah, that's big. That's a lot. That's a lot for sure. We got to talk about your hit track, Heaven on Earth. It's nearing the 2 million mark on Spotify. It's such a beautiful song with a lot of meaning. And I believe you originally wrote it for your grandma after her passing. I'm definitely sorry, for your loss.
Thank
and
you.
Condolences to you and your family. The music video was beautiful. Featuring your friends and family, I think.
Right.
Showcasing their love for each other. What kind of went into writing and creating this song? Because, I'm sure this was a difficult one to actually write.
It actually wasn't.
Really?
It wasn't. So I wrote that song, I want to say in want to say August of 2021. August, September, somewhere around there. So my grandmother, she passed in July of that year.
Okay.
Prior to that, I was already kind of struggling a lot. You know, I was up here. I took time off of my profession as a nurse just to kind of figure my footing out. And then at the time too, I was leaving this long-term relationship I was in. So there was just a lot of transformation happening around me. And at the time, I was just experiencing the heaviest writer's block. So it was frustrating because every week I would meet up with my producers, and we sit in the studio and we kind of come up with melodies that I think is cool, but nothing was coming to me at all until one day we got to the studio and they're like, all right, bro, what do you want to work on? And at this point, I think I was already deciding for myself, man, after my grandmother died, stop, just let go of any other barrier that's in front of you right now. This has to be what propels you forward. And so I think I just kept trying to find and trying to channel that energy. So I told Brian, I said, just play something, take me to church, do whatever you got to do. I need to feel. He's like, okay. So I'm sitting back on this couch. He plays these chords and I start feeling something move within me, right? And he plays that first chord of Heaven on Earth. And I just remember freestyling that. Every time I'm away from you. And we stop and we all look at each other like, oh shit, we got one. Hold on. It was weird. I don't know whatever spiritual route y'all go through, but when we sang that, it's almost like you felt this just this flow in the room. And I was like, oh shit, maybe that was the release that I needed, right? Maybe that was just something that I needed. Yeah. So I said, okay, let's keep rocking with this. And then I just kept freestyling the next word or the next line and the next line and the next line until we got to the hold you close, be right under. Matt came up with those words. Okay. And then I'm like, okay, where am I going with this? And then I just heard Heaven on Earth. And so that's when we came, you must be what it feels like. And after that, we recorded that day. And I told the dudes, I said, we got one. We got one. There was no question about it. There was no, do we need to perfect this? It was like, nah, this is it. Whatever this is, that's enough, and this is it. And then obviously just add the little embellishments here and there. We dropped that, and I remember putting the intention out there. I said, the whole time I'm singing this, I'm writing this, I'm thinking about my grandmother. And it's like, thank you for this energy. I understand now.
Right.
So when we dropped it, I put the intention out there. I don't care if this reaches 2 or 2,000 people or 200. I mean 200 because I didn't drop music in 2 years before that. So I was being humble. Honey at the time only had 5,000 streams. So I was like, I don't care if this reaches 2 or 200 people. Whoever it reaches is going to do something for them because there's no way that I feel all this energy right now and it's not going to be this movement. We wait a couple months, and then I told my manager, I said, I want to drop this on around my grandmother's birthday. And we did, first month, I believe, it's actually first 2 weeks, 100,000 streams. I was
Damn.
Whoa. Yeah.
That's crazy.
First weekend, I believe, I remember flying out to Oakland the day that it dropped, and I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna do its thing. I looked 2 days later, it was 10,000 streams. I was like, yo, this shit just surpassed Honey in 48 hours.
That's crazy.
So that song changed my life.
Yeah, that's definitely I feel like when you're in the studio, because you don't really see a lot of people film themselves in the studio, and if they do, they don't really put it out there too much. One thing I definitely kind of look back on is Kanye, because Kanye put out that documentary, and you see him in the studio creating his things, and then them creating magic in the studio. I felt like that's kind of what you're kind of talking about. You hear chords being played, and you're like, damn, and then you start singing, and then you're like, fuck, this is the one. You just start creating magic, and I feel like it's crazy seeing that happen. I would love to see that happen in person. Just seeing, it starting from zero to nothing and then to a fucking hit. I think it's super dope seeing people achieve something that they never thought could be achievable.
I've never seen numbers like that. And then people be surprised, but I told them, I'm like, that song was recorded in an apartment bedroom. The whole thing, crazy. All the backgrounds, the mixing, the mastering, it was written in there all in an apartment bedroom.
Damn, that's
crazy. Hey, big ups to you on Heaven on Earth. We got to give you some applause for that.
Hey, thank you.
I appreciate
flowers
for sure. Yeah, I wanted to dive a little bit deeper because, your glow up is crazy. And you kind of already answered it. But, from your song Honey and to Heaven on Earth, there was like a 2-year gap. So I kind of wanted to know, like, what struggles you had to overcome to, like, get over that and what contributed to that success of that song. But, you kind of already answered it,
Right.
Going through your struggles, the writer's block and everything like that. And then finally releasing the song that came, like, naturally to you.
Yeah.
So was there anything else besides that you went through, like maybe a little bit before your grandma passed, that you didn't release the song a whole year prior?
Well, honestly, my environment.
Okay.
I felt like I reached a ceiling being an artist in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
And actually on the podcast that I was on yesterday, both of us are from San Diego. He told me, he's like, the moment you left here, you just skyrocketed.
Mm-hmm. Damn. Yeah.
So, love you, San Diego. Home will always be home. Home will always be home. I love my home. But you have to get out of your comfort zone.
Facts. Yeah.
It don't matter. It doesn't matter where you're from, where you're at. When you guys were talking about your hometown too, I'm like, dang, so we all just kind of feel that way about where we're from.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You have to get out of the place that has cradled you.
Right.
So that you can learn more about yourself.
Yeah,
Go
no.
meet people. Let them teach you about you too. You know what I mean?
Right.
For me, it was literally working with new producers and working with new artists, collaborating with people that outside of who I knew.
Yeah, that's facts. I resonate with that because if it wasn't for this guy, I wouldn't have been here. Back home in Seattle, I was very introverted, very cozy and comfortable where we at from Seattle. So when he wanted me to move to LA, I was like, nah, that's not me, bro. Like, I'm cool with staying there because I moved so much growing up that I finally found a place that I could call my home. So for me to come out here was like a total shift. But I'm glad that I did because now we're actually thriving. I'm out of my shell more. I'm going on doing video shoots, and now I'm gaining and building my own brand on my own. But if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have been here. We wouldn't have been podcasting. We wouldn't have been where we are now. So I definitely feel like getting out of your comfort zone and moving on to a new place is like what you need to do.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, for sure. Like one thing we always talk about is repping for our hometown of Seattle.
Right, for sure.
Always rep for your hometown. I'm proud of being from Seattle, even though we did live down here. This place is for work. I don't necessarily call this home, even though we do live here.
Right.
Home is Seattle. That's where the heart is and stuff like that. And I miss going home. I don't get a chance to go back anymore. All my family's there and stuff like that. But I love when I see people actually repping for the hometown because I feel like there's so many people that live out here in LA that are fake and repping for LA shit. Like I'm like, you're not from LA. Like you're from back maybe the East
switch up
Coast.
quick.
You are from the IE. You need to knock that shit out.
For real.
You're not from LA.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like it's kind of crazy seeing people like rep for something when like you're from New York.
Yeah.
Like you from New York, but you're repping LA shit just because you live out here. That's not me. I don't rep anything LA. I always rep for my hometown and stuff like that. And I, of course, you got SD on your hat, so
sir.
you're always repping for your hometown, and I love seeing that. So big up to everybody that like is true to their heart of their hometown and where they come from because I feel like there's a lot of people out here in LA that are you know how it is. So
and
for sure.
it's easy to lose yourself into the
Oh, for
fame and
sure.
everything,
Yeah,
into
for
the
sure.
cloud. So
I would say if I moved here earlier than I did, I probably would have been just that.
right.
Got lost in the crowd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I
Because
think
you're so thirsty when you move out here.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
as a fucking creative too,
Yeah.
like you come out here and you're just like, God, I'm itching for these opportunities
for
that
sure.
when you're young and naive and you're not,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
that's
Smart.
probably now that you mentioned that's probably why a lot of the I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the TikTok kids have fucking blown up out here, and then they're repping for LA, even though they're like East Coast and shit. So I kind of get what you're saying. It's like, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
people
I
think
just
out here.
that's just not me. Yeah, that's just not me.
Yeah, for sure. So one thing that I want to talk about, is your music videos. I love how much attention and detail goes into the storytelling, and you don't have like crazy flashy effects or anything like that, but every shot like has a purpose. I want to reference your music video Honey. In the beginning, it seems like you're singing to someone, but then towards the middle, like it reveals that you're singing to a mirror and you're actually singing the lyrics to
Yes.
yourself, which I thought was like fire,
fire,
so
fire.
subtle, but has a lot of purpose behind it. When it comes to your music videos, do you come up with the concept in mind, or you kind of like leave it to the director and the team when it comes to things like that?
It's both. I let artists be artists. I'm no video director, so I do though collaborate with people that I know can bring the vision that I have in my mind to life, or maybe make it so much better.
Right.
So I kind of I just sit with people again, like who I want to work with, and I explain to them, hey, this is what came about when I was writing this song. So this is what I want people to see. You know,
Right.
Because again, people will translate your art into whatever they want to translate it into. But you have your music video is one great opportunity to show people what you are visually representing with these songs that you write. So I do come up with like the concept. However, even down to like cover arts, if I have people do cover art, I'm like, look, I'm no photographer, so like, do what you please. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I'm not gonna let you just go willy nilly with my shit, because at the end of the day, that's still my art. But but you are a creative in a way that I don't have an eye for, so I want you to do your thing.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
So I guess it's a mix of both.
Well, a mix of both. Okay.
I kind of want to get your take real quick though, because a lot of the artists I work out here on music videos and stuff, like we're kind of shifting to short form content.
Yeah.
So I want to get your take on, we've been shooting, of course, just regular 16:9 music videos and stuff, but now everybody's just fucking kind of fading away from that and going for more the short form content, and these are the things that go viral. So what's your take as an artist on the short form content music videos versus like the actual like production into a music music video? With the wave now, I agree with it because people's attention spans are so short. For real. Exactly. So we've adapted so heavily to TikTok where everything is just hurry up, scroll. And if you can get my attention in that short amount of time, what else do I need to see? I'm already hooked. Exactly. So this is why so many people are doing those short form videos now. It's a whole marketing tactic. Yeah. Right. But I think that there still needs to be quality in that. For sure. Still give people what they want to see. For sure. But I'm not opposed to like longer videos. Sometimes you have things that don't just fit in a 15-second clip. For sure. I could do it. Yeah. I mean, even for me, as a filmmaker myself, like I prefer shooting like a full-length music video for YouTube, all pre-production, going into production, and then post-production. That's me. Yeah. Like, it's cool. And I understand like how short form is kind of taking over now, but you can't take over the traditional music videos, like this is what we all grew up with. Yeah. Like the whole 3-minute, 4-minute, and then of course, the little short film music videos and stuff like that. Like those are the goats. Yeah. Like, but like I said, I understand like how people's attention spans are today, especially today's generations, and stuff like that. But and they're the biggest consumers, so you have to play into it. That's the thing. That's the thing. You have to play into it. And I agree with that. Adapt. You have to adapt, but it's like it's so hard because I just love going through the whole production of an actual music video versus nowadays where it's like a one take music video, super basic, super easy, and it's cool, like you don't have to do too much work, but at the end of the day, you're like, are you satisfied with this art? I'm not. I'm not a fan of the one takes that people have been putting out on TikTok and stuff, but I understand today's generations. Yeah. It's just whatever catches their attention span. But everything always comes back full circle. For sure. Right. So it's like this is the wave right now, and then people are gonna want to see like more because they're just, I think as humans we just crave that more, right? Yeah, so for sure. Seeing shit from your favorite artist is like, okay, but what else can you give us? You know what I mean? So I think it's all a marketing game. You just got to be smart and tactical, know how to play the game, but don't lose that spark for what else you got going on. Right. Even with fashion, like it comes back full circle, so eventually I think short form content, especially after COVID, it's going to take time though. Like skinny jeans coming back. Parachute pants were back in style, MC Hammer and all that shit. I mean, people were trying to bring jerking back. So, I know. Well, that never left in my book. Oh, yeah. I will reject anywhere. Let's go. No, but so everything comes back in full circle. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Agreed. Yeah, so going back into your music videos, I can tell you a lot of thought has gone into them, and you really enjoy making these. What would you say is like your favorite part about creating music videos? Seeing it all come to life. Yeah. But also too, I love being on set. Yeah. So Heaven on Earth was so beautiful for me to create. Honey was so much more intimate, so it was a little bit
more nerve-wracking for me because it was just me, and I was like, damn, I had to ask people to like clear the room at one point so that I can really dive into like that intimate moment with myself. But Heaven on Earth, I'm sorry, when you're in a group with a whole bunch of people, I was actually directing that music video. We saved my scenes for last. So it was just fun to be like, hey, love on each other, you know, and just feeling that energy. So for me, everything is always about energy. You can just tell how the outcome of your product is going to be by the type of energy that everybody has on set.
For sure.
One thing I definitely want to ask you is because on the Heaven on Earth music video, you know, you would have people look at the image and stuff. Was that your brother or one of your family that looked at, I think, at the same image as your grandma, and he started kind of crying up?
Yeah, that was my cousin.
That's your cousin.
Cousin.
See, so when it came to that, like, were you just, hey, come on set, we're going to do something? Did you not tell them exactly what you were doing, or did you give them a heads up?
For all of them or for my cousin?
For all of them. I just wanted to know.
So what my vision was for this song was, because I wrote this in memory of my grandma, but other people relate to it, other people have it as their wedding songs and all this other stuff like that. I was like, man, I want to shoot a music video where it really captivates a universal meaning of love. So that's why you have the kids in there. That's why you have couples in there.
Yeah, that was dope.
But then I also wanted to honor the fact that for me personally, it was written about a loved one that has passed on. And so the other people that were in that video who also were holding frames, they were holding frames of people dear to them, whether it be their dad or mom that has passed on. My cousin specifically, that photo, she looks like she has such mannerisms that are so alike with my grandmother's. And that photo specifically, I remember when we found it, we were like, bro, Mallory like looks like mommy so bad, you know? So I said, I want you to be in this segment. I'm going to give you a photo, but I don't want you to look at it yet. She's the only person. So when you see me handing it to her, that was all raw. Like that was her being like, I think I didn't even have shoes on when I freaking handed her that video. I don't know. Like, I was just like, hold on here. So I gave it to her, and when she opened it, she saw the photo, and because we all talked about it as a family around, you know, my grandmother's wake and stuff. Like, Mallory, you look so much like this photo. So when she saw it, that was kind of that moment. And then we cut into the next frame where I hold it up, and it's like, you know, this is our grandma. So
that's dope. I really applaud you for the idea though, because getting people's especially when it comes to that, like getting people's kind of first impression, nothing fake or anything. It's always good kind of catching that on camera, especially when it comes to something true and meaningful, like a music video like you put out, you know? So I definitely applaud you for, you know, the creativity on the music video and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
for sure. Because like one thing I want to applaud you for is like chemistry. Nobody can deny like chemistry. And I could definitely tell like that was, you know, someone dear to you, and also like the people that they were highlighting, you know, in those segments meant a lot to them. You know, you saw some people crying. So chemistry is something you can't deny in any shoot. That's why like when we go on shoots, we always like talk to the person or the client, you know, before we even start, because the end product comes out so much fire when you guys break the ice in the beginning, or you guys work together beforehand, or you know somebody is your family member. You know, that chemistry is undeniable. And to have like a song like that meaningful and that impactful, and you definitely see like the chemistry like afterwards, and I think that contributed to the whole thing. So yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah, big ups to you.
Thank you.
You know, we are coming to the end of our podcast, but we got one more question. You are the creator and founder of Synergy SD, which is a monthly event that would highlight and feature local artists and talent. I'm not sure if that's something that's like still currently going on or not, but I'm definitely kind of curious to know like why you started it, and do you plan to bring Synergy here to LA?
Synergy is not currently happening right now because my focuses are on my music and how I can develop that, and it's a lot to balance at the moment when you're doing things by yourself. However, I do have a vision of bringing Synergy to LA. And to give you a little bit of background, I started Synergy back in 2019 because I was on some heavy anti-San Diego stuff because I was just pissed. I was mad. I was like,
mad at the city? Or?
Yeah, hell yeah. I was like, fuck this city, man. Like, motherfuckers don't support me out here and whatever. Blah, blah. And then I started going out, and I was like, oh shit, like, hold on. So I got tired of that narrative, right? I was like, you know, instead of being frustrated at why you feel like we don't support each other, why don't you learn? You know, why don't you go out there and why don't you figure out why we don't? So when I started going out to different events outside of what I knew, I'm like, I don't know this person or this person or this person, but they're doing dope ass shit that I want to do too.
Yeah.
And so that's when that aha moment came into my head, and I was like, we don't support each other because we don't know each other. So there are pockets of San Diego where it's like Southeast supports Southeast, and then there's like the hippie area like North Park, and then there's northern San Diego like Oceanside and stuff, and they rep heavy for theirs. So I thought, how can I bring us all together?
Right.
So there was a coffee shop, you know, kind of right in the middle of North and South San Diego, and I remember visiting for the first time because it was new. And I was like, whoa, I have a vision to like have maybe an open mic night here or something, or just so I talked to the owners. They were real cool, and I was like, are you guys interested in having like music events here? And they were like, yeah, we just don't know anybody. And I was like, see, if that shit ain't to my point.
Right.
So at the time, my mom was closing her music studio down, and she was gonna sell all her equipment, and I was like, no, don't sell it, like give it to me. I don't know how to work any of this shit. I'm gonna figure it out though. And so after that, I just talked to a couple friends. You know, I just posted on my social media like, yo, if I were to host like a music event, who would want to come perform? And some people hit me up. I said, okay, who would want to see that? And so people hit me up, and then one day I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna have this little showcase. These artists are performing. I completely removed myself from that because I'm like, this is just what I want to curate for my community.
Right.
And then so the first month it was cool. Second month it started growing and growing, and I was like, oh shit, I'm kind of doing something over here. This is fucking dope. And it just became this monthly platform where I would just get different artists from literally different parts of San Diego to perform as the lineup. We would invite one featured artist of the month who is either a photographer, a painter, or whatever, and then we would have local vendors, and they could sell their stuff. And at the time, this is when the election was going on, right? And you know, very political stuff. So I was thinking, man, like, not to make it so political, but the huge purpose, or a huge purpose behind Synergy too, is how can we start putting money back into our own people's pockets so that we don't have to keep funding, you know, corporates and all this other shit like that. Like, how can we start supporting our people and just creating waves for ourselves? So yeah, that went on for like a cool minute. And then even when I moved out here, we were still running Synergy, but like, man, your girl got tired. I got tired. This shit is hard.
I understand. I mean, that's dope though, that you were actually featuring like not just like music artists, but other artists like painters, photographers, whoever. That's dope, you know, because I feel like a lot of those kind of, I'm not sure what you call them, but you know, there a lot of it is just like music artists. You know, you don't really see other people kind of promoting their art or something like that. So that's really dope that, you know, you put together something for all artists, not just music artists. I want to touch on something because you kind of brought it up. So music kind of runs in your family. You said your mom had music equipment. So was she a singer, musician?
My mom's a singer.
Okay, dope.
She grew up performing her whole life.
Nice.
Like would ditch school to go dance on TFC and stuff and get her ass whooped by her mom
That's
for ditching
crazy.
school.
Oh, shit.
So she sings. She graduated college with a bachelor's degree in music. So before I was even born, you know, she was already teaching students at our house and everything like that. So growing up, that was my
role model.
And who I watched. You know, so everything that I know, I learned by watching her teach like people. And then my brothers, they dance. So I don't even know how old I was when she like opened up the studio like physically.
Was that in San Diego too?
It was in San Diego. Yeah, we had like a few different locations that we would move around to. But yeah, so we taught like dance classes over there, music classes, singing lessons and instrument lessons and everything like that. So that's the environment that my brothers and I grew up in.
That's dope.
And my brothers dance and everything. So
Okay, dope. So since she was like in the music industry, like, was she also supportive of you when you ventured out? Oh, okay.
She's the reason why I'm a singer, bro. I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a choice.
Oh, really?
I was voluntold.
Damn.
Bro, my mom would like the moment she found out I could sing, it was a wrap. It was like, you're in the choir.
Damn.
You're singing. I'm 7 years old, 7, 8 years old. You're singing in the choir. You're doing this. You're doing that. Every freaking family party. She fucking made me sing at the dentist's office one time.
Damn.
Bro. I was pissed. I was hot. I was hot. Yeah, I'm like fucking crying because I just got like, I don't know, like whatever the fuck. She's like, it's okay. Hey, go in there, just sing for them real quick. And what the fuck? For what? An extra toothbrush? You feel me? Like, so yeah, I didn't enjoy it when I was younger. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not like this. She also used to host competitions and like concerts all the time, and I would be the fucking person singing that intermission, like for fucking what? I would cry, man. I was forced to do it. I would cry because my stage fright at the time was so bad. Like,
especially as a kid.
Yeah. When she made me sing at the dentist's office, I had to stand behind my godfather and like sing from behind him.
Oh shit.
And then like come out like so dumb, dude. Just so silly. So, but then after a couple years, like she was like pretty surprised because I'm like, okay, wait, I think I like this. I'm trying other things in my life at 12 years old, 13 years old. I'm like, I don't really enjoy this shit, and I'm not very good at it, but I am good at this music stuff. So I started pursuing it a lot more, and my mom, she's very proud of me now.
Okay,
that's dope.
Yeah.
You know, that's I'm not gonna lie, that sounds like me because obviously, you know, I'm a new parent, and you know, my fiance, she's a fashion designer. I'm a filmmaker, photographer. And I want to raise our child on that kind of stuff. So, you know, me and my fiance has been going back and forth. She's like, no, she's going to be a fashion. No, she's going to be a videographer, photographer, and stuff like that.
She's
you
all
know?
a mathematician.
Yeah, she's not anything.
And you know, like it's crazy.
She wants to be a teacher.
Yeah, see, but it's crazy you bring that up because I feel like that's how we're gonna kind of be. Is like she's gonna be around what we do in work, you know. And I, no joke, I kind of do hope she gets into entertainment and the arts and stuff. Yeah. But obviously, you know, it's gonna be whatever she wants. But I'm gonna do what I can to try to get her into what we typically do.
If I have children, I'd be saying the same thing. I'm like,
see.
If you're not at least a lick musically inclined, I'm gonna have to return to sender. Like, no, I'm totally kidding. I'll support my kid in whatever they want to do.
For sure. Yeah,
my thing is like, if I have children, just be passionate about something.
Yeah, for sure.
Be passionate about.
For sure.
It could be any except heroin and all that shit. Don't be passionate about that shit. Be passionate about anything else though, and I'll stand by that and I'll support you behind that.
Exactly.
You know? But
Facts.
I mean, it's dope though for you because you had kind of like a full circle moment. It's in your family. In general, you know, music is all in your family and it's just full circle. Like you said, your brothers dance.
Yes.
And they're still doing it right now?
Kind of. My second to oldest brother, he does more like entertainment at like a theme park out there and stuff. Okay. So he's like the manager and he does like the choreography for all that. Okay. My oldest brother, he's not really dancing too much right now. He's more so focused on his family. But for some years, I think like 3 years, they were doing the Muse IC show with Jabberwockies in Vegas for a minute. So they like moved out there and did that. So they were pretty. They were pretty fire. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they still are if they want to get off their ass and dance.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
You know.
Yeah, no, it's still dope. You know, just coming from a family where you're all involved in the arts, it's hard to explain, but it's kind of like the Jacksons. You know, the Jacksons all grew up in music and everything like that. You grew up in music and. You know, it's just such a full circle moment, and that's something I would be proud of, honestly. Right, you know, like my dad's a jeweler, my mom's she came from assembly, and I'm the only one that came out of the arts. You know, and you know, obviously I didn't have that thing, so that's why I kind of want to do a full circle moment with my kid, so she kind of grows up with the arts and you know entertainment and stuff like that. So I'm sure you still enjoyed it, and look where you are now. You're fucking killing it. You know, so big ups to you for sure.
Thank you.
You know, we're coming to the end of the podcast, and we created Artistry Drop to be inspirational to the next generation of people. So what advice can you give to our viewers out here listening on becoming like an artist and a singer?
Yeah, just start. Just start. If you haven't already, there's not too much thought that goes into it, and it's wrapped around all of the same stuff that we were saying earlier, is that just continue allowing yourself to go through these experiences and letting that teach you, because it's those people or those moments or those performances, whatever shows you want to go to, or it's usually the ones where you're a little bit more apprehensive that you take a chance on that become the most life-changing or the most inspirational in that moment, right? So be open to how that energy can just transform you into being the artist that you want to be.
For sure.
And just start. Like, get out your own way. Nobody can tell you the kind of artist that you are. It's easy to get sucked into the idea of what you should be or anything like that. But at the end of the day, just stay true to you. Don't ever lose your authenticity. And everybody who's meant to support you will, and it'll always be genuine.
Let's go. Fire. We're on social media. Can our viewers find you?
at Roann Messina everywhere.
Everywhere, guys.
Everywhere,
And
let's
of course,
go.
we're going to put all her links in the description box below. But Roann, thank you again for coming on the
Yes.
Artistry Drop. We appreciate you coming here, being the
appreciate
first
you.
guest of 2024.
Come on, let's go.
Let's
Starting
go.
the
Let's
year
go.
off
I love
right.
it.
Yeah, we started
Absolutely.
it off
Thank
right.
you for having me.
Yeah,
Thank
for
you.
sure, for sure. Guys, we hope you enjoyed this episode. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, it's Artistry Drop. If you're not following us on Instagram, you can find us at the Artistry Drop. And if you prefer just listening, you can stream all our episodes on all major podcast platforms. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace.